What's up, you guys? I am looking for Art of Idmore. Art of Idmore needs to come down here and talk to me a little bit. Because I can't hold this until Sunday. If I hold it to Sunday, I'm going to really have something to say to his ass. So, Art, if you in the chat, pipe up, motherfucker. Pipe the fuck up. What's up, Albert Bird? I'm just waiting for Art to show up here because we gotta have a talk. Go family discussion. Where's Art? He always late. I know he ain't in the store buying nothing. And I know his ass ain't at work. He's probably watching some shitty anime. What's up, y'all? It's Artisan MC. Okay, now this may seem serious. It is not serious at all. But I'm waiting for my fellow Art Beat, Art of Idmore, to show up because me and him got to talk about this damn movie he had me watch. So if you don't know what the movie is, we were talking about it on Black Artists on the Spot, and it was Robo Vampire. And I watched that shit last night. I could have went to sleep. I could have just went to sleep and not watched that movie at all. So this is a unreview review of this shitty ass movie he asked me to watch. And because he asked me to watch it, and I watched it just on the strength of, that's my homeboy. We got some of the same taste. I watched the movie. I watched this shit. And it was horrifically bad. Even for like the 80s, it was horrifically fucking bad. It was garbage. It was Asian garbage. It was Asian garbage. I'm laughing because it was so ridiculously fucking bad. But I spent, you know, an hour and 50 minutes of my life on that shit. I can't get that back. So I need to feel satisfied with pulling a sufficient amount of that time back out of Art's ass. Because that was not okay. That shit was not okay. I watched that shit and suffered through it, and I watched the whole thing because apparently I'm a sadist like that. And I don't know, I did it to myself because he talked me into watching it. I went ahead and watched it, and I probably should have watched that Rikio shit first. I probably should have watched that first because then I would have gave him a pass on this one. But as it stands, I did not. I watched Robo Vampire first. If you want to see how bad the shit is, look it up on YouTube. You can find the trailer for it on YouTube, or you can find the movie on Amazon Prime for free. If you have to pay for this movie, you a dumb motherfucker. Do not pay to watch this movie ever. If it ever came out in the theaters, oh my god, I feel bad for the people who spent their money on this shit. Because it is terrible in the worst sense of being fucking terrible, dude. It is garbage. So I was waiting to see if ArtofForte was going to show up so I can talk shit to him directly about it. Or pseudo directly, since he'd be in the chat. He'd have to fire up the stream so we can go back and forth. But I didn't think he's at work, and I don't think he's sleeping. Because I saw him in Kendra's chat, so you need to come answer for this. Because I'm sorry, I'm an old dude. I ain't got a lot of time to be wasted. And that shit just took a year off my life or something. I don't know. I can't keep doing that shit. Since Dark Phoenix, I cannot keep watching shitty movies. I can't. I've had my fill. I've lived through the 80s. I've lived through the 90s. I cannot keep watching shitty movies. The 2000s have done me no better with some of these movies, and I can't keep doing it. I'm sorry. It's just it's stealing my life force. It's stealing my life force. I'm missing good sleep I could have got good watching this shit. So anyway, if you don't know, this freaking movie, holy shit. This movie starts off as, it's basically a ripoff on RoboCop, right? But even still, even as a ripoff of RoboCop, it's shitty. Okay, let's just say that shit is garbage, right? But apparently this drug kingpin is smuggling his drugs and stuff like that, and he keeps getting caught, so to speak, by these drug agents, right? It's not the DEA because they're in Asia, so I'm forgetting the name of it. But he keeps getting caught. So he wants to call on the help of this Taoist priest and the vampires that he has. Now, I'm not up that far on Asian culture. I do not understand how they are making these dead Taoist priests or whatever into fucking vampires, right? Regardless of that, I've seen many a shitty fucking vampire movie. I've seen a bunch of them. I've seen a shitload of vampire movies. I love vampire movies, right? This was something new on me. The fact that these vampires, sure, they dressed up like priests or coolies or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're living in caskets and all the rest of this, and they have the little magic enchantments written on paper, with the kanji, that's making them be still or not move or whatever the fuck. The fact that when these vampires come out, they put their hands up like Frankenstein and then start hopping like Bugs Bunny is fucking ridiculous as shit to me. These motherfuckers hop. The fucking vampires hop. And at first it was funny, and then at the second part it was just fucking irritating. Because once, you get the advent of the Robo Warrior showing up and his slow, stiff-legged walking shit, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous. So anyway, the fucking drug kingpin wants these vampires to come in and help him guard his fucking shipments. They're going to smuggle bodies instead of coke, right? Then you get a side story when you meet the Taoist priest and see what these vampires are. You get a side story with one of the fucking vampires where a fucking ghost shows up out of nowhere. And the ghost is a woman, and she is mad at the Taoist priest for turning this guy into a vampire because they were supposed to be together, in the afterlife and be married and all the rest of this shit. So she attacks the Taoist priest after these vampires and attack the people who were the drug guys who were sitting there watching them. But she has a reprieve when it comes to the fact that the Taoist priest can marry the witch, ghost, and the vampire. So they'll be cool if he does that. And then the story shifts off into some other shit where the Taoist priest is running around with this gourd, opening it up and having vampires jump out this shit and just attack the drug agents who are trying to stop them from smuggling drugs. I'm like, it makes no fucking sense in the world, right? So one of these dudes, one of these drug agents who gets killed, gets turned into the Robo Warrior. He dies, and there's a brief minute with the chick showing up that knows him. I guess it's his love interest. Like, super brief. Like, she shows up. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. He's gone. There's nothing we can do for him. And then she's off and gone. Right? Dumb as fuck. But he gets turned into this Robo Warrior. As soon as you see it, dude, it looks fucking ridiculous. His costume looks absolutely fucking ridiculous. It looks like a flame retardant suit that a flamethrower guy would use, or you would go into an oil rig or something like that to rescue people. That's what it looks like. It looks like a flame retardant suit with a taped on visor and chin strap. It looks fucking ridiculous, dude. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Now, I'm saying it looks ridiculous because even for the 80s, that was fucking ridiculous, okay? I watched a lot of 80s movies because I'm a child of the 80s, okay? I've seen a lot of shitty sci-fi, what have you movies from the 80s. This looks fucking shitty. This was absolutely shitty. Right? The mask ain't even all the way on his face. It's like half sideways on his damn face. And I couldn't believe it, right? So the story just keeps jumping back and forth in between that, the Robo Warrior, what's going on with these vampires, what's going on with the drug guys, what's going on with the DEA, or not the DEA, but the drug agents, because one of the drug agents, some white chick out of the fucking nowhere, gets captured because a priest in this village was, I guess, hiding drugs, but it's the drug dealers who came to get him. But the drug agent was protecting him? I don't fucking know. Some kind of way, they tip over the cross and they got drugs on the inside of it. They cap the priest, and then the white chick jumps out with a machine gun and shoots all of them. But she's supposed to be a drug agent. So I don't know if she's protecting the drugs or she's protecting this motherfucker who's supposed to be undercover. Either way, it's fucking ridiculous. She gets captured. They take her to some spot up in the jungle. And she is doing her best impression of fucking trying to be Bo Derek or some shit. She keeps rubbing her hair. She's fucking terrible acting. Absolutely terrible acting. When I saw this part, I thought about a long time ago in the shop, we had a film student come through and he wanted to borrow or rent the shop so he could film a movie. Now, we didn't see the movie he was filming because at that time we had a back area and he just filmed in the back. But this is about the level of what I thought he was producing. This is the level of what I thought he was making. And this was an actual feature film. It looked like a bunch of people with a fucking camera, a bunch of friends with a camera, just doing a fucking movie because the cuts, the lighting, and all of this shit was absolutely garbage. It was garbage. I can't believe I watched that shit for that long. But I watched the whole thing from credit to credit. So at different points in this movie, I'm not gonna give you the Aquateki is not even a masterpiece. It's not even Mystery Science Theater worthy, dude. It is not. This is some. I told him when I saw the trailer, when he talked about it, and I looked at the trailer, I said, this looked like some pothead movie. This looked like a movie that you would watch while you were fucking high. Because you would just laugh at it. You would just absolutely have a good laugh and enjoy your high watching this ridiculous fucking shit, right? Well, I wasn't high. I wasn't high. And I'm watching this shit and halfway laughing because it was so bad, dude. Like, some scenes were so fucking dark I couldn't see the shit. And one of the things that was pissing me off is that the lead vampire, the motherfucker was just wearing a gorilla mask. He was just wearing a gorilla mask. I'm like, what the I don't. I wasn't kidding. I wasn't kidding. Oh shit! It was bad, dude. It was bad. I watched the whole thing. Now, some of the funnier parts of this whole damn thing is their guns, because obviously they're not using real ammunition, right? So whatever they're using for guns, it's like fireworks. And so you'll see all the guns have these little caps on the end of them, and it's like it's throwing out stuff. It's basically looking like a fucking Roman candle, right? Roman candle, sparklers, little smoke bombs and shit. I'm like, dude, is this my first movie? I I expect some shit like this should have been like M. Night Shyamalan's first horror movie or some shit like that. Because I've seen that and it looks just as good, if not better, than what I've just watched. It was that was funny. The fight scenes in it was typical kung fu movie, right? But at one point, I'm watching it and I'm like, some of these are the same fucking actors playing multiple roles, so it gets fucking confusing. It's like they forgot the story that they were actually working on. Because at one point, they capture one of these drug guys, DEA, or excuse me, not DEA, I don't want to keep saying that shit. But the drug crew, the drug agency is going to send a small crew in to take down this drug smuggler and get back their captured comrade, the white chick, right? And at one point, they capture one of the drug smuggler's lieutenants, right? And they're trying to fake torture him with a knife and shit like that and get him to talk or whatever. And one dude sits down and talks to him for like 5 minutes. And I guess after that, he decides to join their crew because after that, he's running the damn drug agency crew. I'm like, did they forget a motivation or something like that here? Why would he be helping them? The man of the hour. What's up, ArtofForte? What's good, homeboy? Okay, you owe me. I just watched Wolf's video. So, you're at the comic shop? Bullshit, they ain't open. They ain't open. And trust me, they got plenty of copies of Star for you, dude. I got a question, man. I got a serious question, ArtofForte. If you're listening, if you can hear me clear. Why the fuck did you ask me to watch that movie, dude? That Robo Vampire was garbage. That shit was garbage. I blame you for that shit. I need my life back, dude. I need my life back. I do. I need that hour and 50 minutes back. You owe me for that shit. Motherfucker, you owe me. You owe me my life back for that shit. Now I'm laughing because it was so terrible, but motherfucker, look, I only watched that shit because you asked me to. Now, I have higher hopes for Rikio, but that Robo Vampire, that was a suffering, dude. That's what horror movies are made of watching shit like that. Like something should have crawled out the screen and just slapped me in my fucking face for being that goddamn stupid. You owe me for that shit. I won't. I need some recompense. Sorry, dude. I did this whole fucking stream just so you could show up and I can ask you, why the fuck did you want me to watch that? That is terrible. So, come on, man. You gotta give me an answer. Fuck the comic shop. The comics will be there. I gotta know. I gotta know why. I'm dying to know why. Please tell me why you had me do that shit. Because you know I've already given you shit about your anime collection at some points. Now you have me watch this shitty ass live action movie. I don't do that shit to you. Shit, dude. Come on, homeboy. BGS, don't you even start. I loved every minute of it. BGS, dude. It was. Oh my god. Dude, dude. BGS, you don't even know, dude. It was terrible. It was it was worse than the trailer. It was worse than the fucking trailer. That's how bad it was. And mind you, I'm laughing now because I've slept. I wasn't laughing when I was watching that shit. When I watched it last night, I was not laughing. I was sitting up there like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why the hell? It's like, oh my god. It was a grown fest, dude. I was like, oh shit. I think I laughed at one part. And I think it was when the guy who's supposed to be Robo Warrior got killed. And the motherfucker fell down and he had all the shit on his face, and I just giggled like, what the fuck? It looked ridiculous. It's like, what is that supposed to be? He got smallpox or some shit? What the fuck? He got a rash? The vampire's kicking out rash and smoke? I don't get it. You know? It was making no sense. It was like five different movies all cut together into the same fucking thing. And the only thing consistent was the fact that at some point, out of nowhere, for no reason at all, they would cut to the scene of this Robo Warrior fighting these proud to be a Tigger zombies bouncing around with their hands out. Like, doing kung fu. And it was halfway funny towards the end where he's fighting like four or five of them and they surrounded him, because the sound effect that they use for his movements is funny, right? So the dude is just ticking to do his movements, right? Yeah, BGS, you would have to watch it while you were high. This was a pothead feature, dude. This was exactly what it was. You get your bud, you get a big tub of fucking popcorn, some sweets, and you watch this fucking movie with your homeboys and just laugh your ass off. That's what it's for, dude. This is not for sober viewing. And I was fucking sober. That was not okay. That's not okay. But he's surrounded by these five vampires. Mind you, they're all sticking their hands out like Frankenstein, hopping around like a rabbit, right? In a circle. Robo Vampire standing in between them. And he looking both ways and ticking and moving his body and shit like that. And it looks pretty fucking funny. That made me laugh. It's like, uh-oh, I thought it was going to be a dance off or some shit. You know? I thought they were going to step it up on his ass and stomp the yard or something. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny, but I wasn't taking it serious like, oh, he's in danger. It's a big fight scene coming. No. I mean, it was like a parody of something that might have been a good movie. And it wasn't. That wasn't what it was. It was like taking itself serious. And I'm like, you can't. You could not take this thing seriously and produce this fucking crap. You could not. So, you know, it made no sense. It looked funny. It reminded me of some old Ultraman or some fucking Power Ranger shit, right? But the costume was killing me, dude. The costume was killing me. His fucking gun was killing me. I think at one point you could see somebody handing him his gun back in the scene so he could hold it. I'm like, what the fuck? Did they not know how to edit that part? It's like, as bad as they chopping up the rest of this movie, they couldn't chop that part off? Come on, man. It's like, I've seen film editing equipment, old school, reel to reel film editing equipment, and you can cut that part out, dude. You got a lot of frames there that you can just snip, cut, tape, and play that shit through, and we'd never see that motherfucker's hand. No, I saw the whole arm of this motherfucker handing him a gun. Like, God dang. It was dumb. Some of the other fight scenes and the explosions and stuff, it reminded me of an old 80s movie. You know, when the drug agents go to the drug smuggler's compound and they're raiding the compound and stuff, and they're doing all this little ridiculous shit. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It looks like some old 80s movie, like some American Ninja shit, you know. waiting to see Michael Dudikoff pop out of the bushes and start, kung fu kicking people and shit like that. It looked like some of that goofy shit, right? Which kind of made it entertaining, but it really wasn't because the continuity was off. At one point, the dude had an M60 with the grenade launcher on it. The next moment, he didn't have that shit. He only had an M16, and that weapon was completely missing from the whole crew. It's like, what happened? They lost a gun? What the fuck? And then the next scene, he got it again. It's like, okay, so this is like some people recording some shit on the weekend with a camera. And that week, Bob didn't want to lend you his machine gun. He didn't want to lend you that shit that weekend. So you had to make do with what you had. I was like, fucking hell, dude. It was not a dumpster fire because it was not in the hood. But I don't know if you want to call it a rickshaw burning or whatever the fuck you want to say. It wasn't a bowl of hot ramen, that's for damn sure. It was some shit. But the absolute funniest part for me is where the Robo Warrior is chasing this lead vampire, and all of a sudden they're in some jungle area, and all of a sudden they end up in the hood. They end up in the city, and they're having a hop, slow walking chase through the city. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Here it is, this motherfucker hopping around with his hands out, right? And then the slow, robotic walking dude behind him with a gun. Like, what dumb shit is this? That part made me giggle because it was absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've seen. And I've seen a shitload of movies, trust me. I've seen a shitload of movies. That was the most absolute ridiculous thing I have seen. And that's a fucking feat. Because I've seen some shitty ass movies. I've seen some really good movies. I've seen some really shitty ones. And that sir, was ridiculous. So, ArtofForte, look, man. I hope the comics you buying today is better than your selection on watching old movies. Do not watch shit like that. Stop it, dude. You're hurting yourself. You hurting me. You hurt me by proxy by having me watch that shit. I did that on your recommendation. That means the next movie you recommend is getting double side eyes. Just thank me for a good laugh. I can thank you for that shit. I'm laughing now because I'm thinking about it. I was not laughing last night, homeboy. I swear to God, I was not laughing. I was heated. You lucky I was tired. You lucky I was tired because I went right to sleep on that shit. What's up, BJ? Salute. I went right to sleep on that shit. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Because I was gonna email you that night. Maybe it was a prank, Aquateki. Aquateki, maybe he was pranking me. Maybe he was punking me. He got me. Okay, good job. Way to go, ArtofForte. You got me to watch a shitty movie. You and Torian had the distinction of getting me to watch two shitty ass movies. One old school, one current. I will not be watching another movie that y'all suggest without a side eye. Without a huge fucking side eye. I'm going to be like, what's it about? Who in it? Why did you like it? Why do you want me to see it? These are questions I'm going to be asking you the next time you recommend some shit to me. Now, I'm going to watch this Rikio because it looked good. And I'm expecting it. And it says it in this title that it's like a parody. It's like a comedy. So I'm expecting some ridiculous shit. And from the trailer, I've already seen some ridiculous stuff. I'm good. But anything after this, you going to have to qualify that shit a lot. Like capital A-L-O-T lot. You're going to have to qualify that shit a lot because I'm going to be looking at you and I'm going to be thinking of this Robo Vampire shit and I'm going to be looking like, I don't know. I better see somebody else review this shit first before I watch it. No way in hell. No way in hell. So yeah, you owe me some life back, homeboy. I'm gonna see you though. I'm gonna see about you and your comic selections and whatnot. Now, Weapon Brown, that ain't got shit to do with you. That's just a good book. So I'm gonna read that and be good with it. What did you say? I missed that in the chat. What did you just say, Art? You know, he's got some funny shit to say. You know it was good because you did a live stream. I did a live stream to get at you. I did a live stream because it would take too much typing for me to send this in an email to your ass. And I didn't want to wait another 3 days to talk about this shit on Sunday. I was not going to talk about this on Sunday. If I talked about this shit Sunday, I would be pissed off. Today, I'm laughing. If I waited another couple of days for that shit, I'd have been heated at you. I'd have been really heated. Because I know I would have watched a bunch of other stuff in between there, and that motherfucker would have stuck out like a sore thumb as being the crappiest fucking movie I've wasted my life on this week. I'm sure of it. I bet money on it. I bet money on it. But that's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. Angry just went live, and I want to see what he's talking about, because I'm sure it'll be better than this fucking Robo Vampire that ArtofForte had me watching. So this was just for him. He bitched about my last impromptu live stream that I did, that he missed it. He ain't gonna miss this one because it was all about his ass. So thank you, ArtofForte, for recommending the movie. Yes, it made me laugh today. Last night I was not laughing. That shit fucking sucked. So don't suggest no bullshit like that to me again. Please. I beg of you. I'm too old, dude. You can't be taking years off my life like that, okay? I got a grandchild I need to be seeing about, okay? So I'll see you guys in these YouTube streets, and I'm out of here. Peace.